I had a chance to talk to President-elect Trump last night to congratulate him on winning the election.
I was devastated. I think I called it gut-wrenching, really. My name is Valerie Jarrett, and I've just written a book called Finding My Voice. Finding my voice means figuring out how to recognize the power of one's own voice. And for me, when I was young in my career, I was not trusting of it. And even though that quiet voice inside of me kept saying, do something different, I didn't. And it wasn't really until a friend of mine encouraged me to leave my job at a big law firm and join the Harold Washington administration in Chicago that I discovered the power of my own voice. He brought this progressive wave to the city, and that really resonated with me. Well, I met Michelle Robinson in the summer of 1991. She walked in my office and she was tall and elegant, and she shook my hand and looked me right in the eye. We talked about public service, and I made her a job offer on the spot, and wisely she demurred. She said, let me think about it. So a few days later we were chatting, and I said, well, what about that job offer? And she said, well, my fiance doesn't think it's such a good idea. And I said, well, who's your fiance and why do we care what he thinks? And she said, his name is Barack Obama. He started his career as a community organizer on the south side of Chicago, and so would you have dinner with us? And I said, yes, I will. And I'm very glad I did. And it was at that dinner that I met Barack Obama for the first time. Well, keep in mind, when he had considered running for the Senate, I told him it wasn't a good idea. So this time I buttoned up and said, okay, then if you want to run for president, then let's do that. I thought after the speech he gave at the 2004 convention that he had the ability to move our country in a very positive direction forward.
It is that fundamental belief, I am my brother's keeper, I am my sister's keeper, that makes this country work.
But that didn't necessarily mean because he gave that speech that he had the fire in his belly to run. And I think after he wrote his second book, The Audacity of Hope, and he saw the kind of traction it was getting around the country, and the fact that so many political figures were asking him to come and do fundraising for them and campaign for them, he thought that the time was now and that he had something to offer at that moment. And so when he said that to me, I said, I'm all in, let's go. So we've been through a lot together. He has been a brother I never had. He's been someone who has helped me grow as a human being, and for that I'm forever grateful. Well, I was devastated. I think I called it gut-wrenching, really, soul-crushing. You know, you name it, a whole lot of words to describe my just disappointment. Part of it that troubled me the most, other than the outcome of the election, was that 43% of eligible voters did not vote. Understand the candidates. Find a candidate that moves you, that you think reflects your values, you think that's going to fight on behalf of you and your family. Hillary Clinton lost by, what, fewer than 100,000 votes in 3 states. That's nothing compared to the population of our country. And so for those who think that elections don't have consequences, the last 2 years have demonstrated that they do. If you don't like these consequences, then you better vote. Yeah, I think you've got to get outside of your comfort zone, and it's hard. Everything about being a young working adult is hard, but you also have to kind of get out of your own way. I used to just pretend that I had everything together. I guess I was ashamed to talk about how hard it was, and I used to think, well, if I were smarter, if I were more efficient, if I worked harder, if I slept fewer hours, maybe this wouldn't all be so hard. And no, you know what? The fact of the matter is it's hard. I was a single mom, but I was a single mom with resources. There's so many single moms or working families out there who don't have what I had. And I felt like I was hanging on by my fingertips. Imagine what life is like for them. And so my hope is that people will realize the power that they do have in their own voices, that they will learn to trust their voices. They will learn to use their voices to be a catalyst for positive change. And they will also help empower other people to find theirs. And so that's what my journey is all about.
Can we do a quick boomerang with you guys? Sure.
Boomerang, boomerang.
Yay!
I don't even know what that means. That's why Stephanie's here.